Hello, everybody. Welcome to Drive Thru. I'm your host, Tony. As we broadcast live here on Pig Dogs and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel and throughout social media. We'll get you out here well before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. And that's what we do here on the Drive Thru, Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time as our live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners are professional handicappers over at Pig Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a look at who's on the show with us here for today. It's Wednesday, so Mitch will join us today. We got Chris Ruffolo, Ninos, Zawacky, Dana will sign in about the bottom of the hour. Big Al McMordie and Sean Murphy. Here's how they'll line up for this evening. We got Ruffolo, Ninos, McMordie, Murphy, Zawacky, Lane, Mitch, and then I will close this one out. All right, 2 games in the book from Major League Baseball. Still 13 games here in the primetime hour, so let's get this one underway. Let's welcome in Chris Ruffolo. You'll find him over at Pig Dogs Premium, also part of the morning crew every day, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Chris, what's happening?
Tony, you know me, living the dream every day. Happy that we have some primetime action tonight, but looking forward to the rest of the weekend. Like we were talking before the show, hockey season coming up, as well as lots more football this week.
Yeah, lots more football. The NBA counting down less than a month away now, so lots happening here. The menu is getting thicker. So here we go tonight to 8 Eastern Time at Texas here to host the Angels in this one. And I want to make sure here we do have Texas here favored with Perez around minus 145, total 8.5.
Yeah, I was seeing a matchup between Tucker Davidson and Dane Dunning. I don't know if that's right. Changed, but
no, it hasn't.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking about tomorrow's games already.
See, you're a day ahead of me. But I'm looking at this matchup, and I like the over a lot here. I'm ticked off myself. I didn't put it in on the premium side today. This is just shaping up to be a high-scoring game. Tucker Davidson, he was one of the all-star trade deadline acquisitions for the Los Angeles Angels. It was a head-scratching move for me when they made that acquisition. A 7.24 ERA Davidson's compiled since joining the Angels. But on the other side, Dane Dunning, this was a guy that the splits were. He was struggling on the road, pitched better at home. Well, now, it doesn't matter where he's pitching, he's struggling. As an ERA up around 7 in the month of September. It's just been absolutely dreadful. And I don't expect it to get any easier tonight. The Angels have been hitting since Mike Trout rejoined the lineup. And, for the Texas Rangers, they've still got some power bats themselves. Marcus Semien, Corey Seager still, in the fray, and as well as bringing all these guys up. I don't remember his first name, but they got a prospect that came up young. They've got Jonah Heim swinging the bat very well as well. I expect this to be a game where there's going to be a lot of runs put on the board. Bring a glove if you're sitting in the outfield because there's going to be some deep balls tonight as well. I love the over.
All right, so we got Chris here on the over 8.5 here with the Angels here and the Rangers. Yeah, no doubt about that with Dunning. Yeah, he's someone you'd always keep an eye on the road just to fade against it. Yep, he's just not getting the job done here at home as well. He's been, high whip, ERA 4.5 for the season. When you're looking here at the season-wide numbers, and this Angel team, we always got to check the lineups here as we get closer and closer to the end of the regular season. We just always got to verify here with these Angels because you got to make sure those 2 big bats, especially you're looking at over that we have Trout and Ohtani, and we do have them in the lineup.
Yeah, it's definitely a good.
All right, we'll see if we can get Chris. I know we might have gotten a little weak signal there with a bit of the grain there. But anyway, Chris here likes Angels and Rangers over 8.5. And this one will have a start time here of 8 Eastern Time over on MLB Extra News Channel. Okay, Chris over at Pig Dogs Premium. We'll go to his pick screen here. We'll see what he's got going on over at Pig Dogs Premium for tonight's action. As we say, there is a 13-game card right now going on from Major League Baseball. And we'll go ahead and take a look at what Chris has going on right now. He does have his MLB pickoff play. Now, he's been very good with this pickoff play as he's been tracking it on the live show and for you as well on his write-ups there over at Pig Dogs. And right now he's got that pickoff play, that $15 premium pick. You can lock him up right now. He's hit 22 of his last 29 pickoff plays, so a good time to get on board with Chris. At $15, that pickoff play is credit guarantee, which means it must turn a profit or the amount you purchase is credited back into your account for site credits. That's what credit guarantee means. Also, Chris does have a 3-pack up there right now from Major League Baseball. His best bets here from Major League Baseball, including his MLB pickoff play. So that pickoff play is also included in his 3-pack, so you don't have to double purchase there. So just get the 3-pack. That will include his pick-off play as well as 2 other best bets there from Major League Baseball. And of course, you can go longer term with Chris as he offers a 3, 7, or a 30-day all sports pass. That 7-day pass will get you all of Chris's plays here from NFL for let's see, we got to action Thursday. We got action on Sunday as well as Monday, college football, as well as his baseball for the 30 days. All right, to wish Chris all the best. Of course, you can catch him. You can catch him every day on the morning show at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Now it's time to go ahead and welcome in Ninos. You'll find Ninos over at Pick Dogs Premium. Also contributes to the weekend shows. You can check him out there 10 a.m. Eastern time on the Saturday and Sunday. Really football-heavy show this weekend. Let's bring him in right now. Al, what's happening?
Going good here. How are you?
Good. All right, here we go. 7 Eastern time. The Orioles trying to get off the schneid. They don't have a lot of time left. These are games they got to pick up here. Orioles here hosting the Tigers. Orioles minus 150, total of 8.
Yeah, it's been a rough season, but going up against here the most profitable team in the MLB still in the Baltimore Orioles. But I think we're still getting some value here with the Tigers, who have been good against these Orioles. They've dominated this matchup lately, and they just won last night again. And I think we've got an even better starting pitching matchup here with Matt Manning, who's putting up much better numbers than Jordan Lyles, and still has his losing record on this team. Just 10-11 on this season is Jordan Lyles, and I just think, I'm not as good as the Orioles have been this season. I'm not trying to lay any juice with Lyles, and as good as they've been on the season, they haven't been that same form lately, the Orioles. So just not looking as good as they were earlier on the season. And the Tigers' rough road record, just 26-46 on the road, but a couple wins coming into this one in a row, and I think they get another one for us tonight. At least we're getting a little bit of value on them on taking the shot with the Tigers and that plus money.
All right, we got Ninos here going to go with the plus money here with the Detroit Tigers here. The pick is the Tigers here at plus 130 here against the Orioles. Yeah, it's been kind of a rough stretch here, as you mentioned here, for the Orioles. Of course, the Tigers, again, showing a little, getting some production here offensively and just enough. And again, it's always the pitchers kind of held them up a little bit. It's always been the hitting that's been lacking for this Tigers team.
Yeah, and it's funny. They don't have like a complete lineup or anything, but they do have a couple guys that can hit the ball real hard, and I think they do get to Lyles here. Who let's take a look at his numbers. He has good numbers against Baez. 16 at bats, just 1 hit, but I think he's still a good hitter, and I think he makes up for those numbers maybe tonight. So the rest of the lineup, though, the lower end of the lineup hitting Lyles pretty well, and I think. I think we're getting some value against a subpar pitcher here.
All right, Tigers plus 130 here against the Orioles. This one to start here at 8 Eastern time. All right, this one will start here at the top of the hour, it looks like, at 7 Eastern time. All right, Ninos, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Premium for tonight. We have 13 games here on the board here for Major League Baseball, heading into a football weekend that's starting tomorrow. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
I got a 3-pack, and my best bet of the night still up there individually as well if you're just looking for one bet. But again, the best way to go is the long-term passes, and you'll find a couple extra plays there anyway. So I'll grab one of those or the 2-for-1 capper specials.
That's right, guys. Get on board here with Ninos over at Pick Dogs Premium. As you can get on board right now with Al, as he's got that place up there for sale today from today's 13 game card. He does have a 3-pack right now from Major League Baseball. It puts it together with his 3 best late bets of the night from Major League Baseball. $45 credit guarantee. That means it must turn a profit. This 3-pack must turn a profit, or the amount you purchase is credited back into your account for side credits. That's what credit guarantee means. So you got that going on with you, as well as individually plays there. But again, the long-term passes are the way to go. 3, 7, or 30-day all sports pass. Get you all of L's plays for that period of time you select. When you go over to his handicapper page and you make that purchase, you can also find seasonal passes up there from L. We've been talking about the NHL. Al was a top unit producer in the NHL last season, and he does have his NHL season pass up there right now. That'll get you every NHL pick, as well as the postseason, the final game of the Stanley Cup Finals right now. So get on board with that. Use the promo code WIN15 at checkout, and you'll save 15% off. You'll save $75 off that price tag right now when you use that promo code WIN15 and get Al's NHL season pass. It's on the way here, not too far away from the start of hockey. All right, Al, as always, great having you show. Have yourself a great evening. We'll talk again tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Tony. Have a good one.
You got Ninos here on the drive to. All right, let's continue. See people sign in right now. If you miss any of our picks, we will have a recap for you at the end of the show, so make sure you stay tuned for that. All right, let's continue on here. Let's welcome in a Big Al McMordie having a monster 2022 season again, as he was the top unit producer at Pig Dogs for 2021. Let's bring him in right now. Big Al, what's happening?
Not much. We did the football show this afternoon, Mitch, myself, and Jay Briggs, so it was really a lot of fun. Folks should check that out, and now we'll talk about some baseball.
That's right. Check out the show. It's on the archive right now over the Pig Dogs YouTube channel, so you'll be able to check it out in its entirety. Tonight here, 8 Eastern time, one of the biggest series on the board here, White Sox hosting the Guardians. The White Sox minus 132, total of 8.
Yeah, I mean, Chicago's now 5 games back with 14 to play, so we're almost at the point where we can stick a fork in them, but, you know, I like them tonight. When you take a look at the White Sox, there's this dichotomy between when they come off a win and come off a loss. When Chicago's off a loss, as they are tonight, they're 99-71 plus 16.4 net gains, but when they're off a win, they're 107 and 100, but minus 28.2 net gains on the money line. So you really want to focus on the White Sox when they're coming off a loss, and you want to avoid them when they're coming off a win. They're going to hand the ball to Lance Lynn, and he's been on fire of late in his last 6 starts. 5 earned runs over 38 innings for a 1.18 ERA and a 0.76 WHIP. He's also been really good, as most of the White Sox pitchers have been when they're off a loss. They're 21-11 with Lynn on the mound off a loss. And then Tristan McKenzie, he's made 8 career starts versus Chicago, not with much success. 6.75 ERA and a 1.35 WHIP. So I'm going to take a look at the White Sox here. I see it now coming down a little bit. I see it as low as $1.23. I like the White Sox.
All right, Big Al here, going to take the White Sox here at minus 132 here. Laura, you can do your shopping here on this one here against the Guardians. Yeah, Lynn has looked really sharp of late. Remember, he had that really tough start to the season, and he really got himself into form. Just a late start. I think he missed spring training. He might have had some ailments, but once he got into the rotation, got into his groove, he's really pitched well.
Yeah, he has. And he's also been a monster, for his career when he's been at home. I think he's 94 and 50, not him, but his teams are 94 and 51 at home with him on the mound, plus like 21.8 net games. So this is a great situation for, him tonight. And it's a must win for Chicago.
Yeah, I saw a number here with Lynn in his career, 45 and 18 when he's favored. It's minus 125 to minus 175. So when he's had the favorite role, he's gotten teams come through for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's great at home, great as a favorite. He's just, really strong in the situation. He's also, I think, trying to think he's also pitching tonight with an extra day of rest. I forget what his numbers are with rest. But it's a real good situation tonight.
Real good situation here. White Sox minus 132 here against the Guardians. This one to have a start time here of 8 p.m. Eastern time. But I have a question for you as we wind down the regular season. 2 weeks left. How do you navigate through this baseball season? Are you kind of looking just at teams with something to play for, kind of worried about the lineups, the pitching changes, some of the funky things that go on here in the final 2 weeks?
I only give out, especially in September, if you're not in the pennant race, I'm not giving out a team. That's just the way I do it. It's just, everyone does things differently, but I don't really want to waste my time with a team that's out of the pennant race.
Right. What about these teams that might have already clinched a spot in the division, or they already got their seeds? And of course, with the playoff formats now,
I prefer to avoid the teams that are kind of locked in, like the Dodgers and the Astros. When you're locked into a spot at this time, I just don't really want to put my money on those teams because I don't know what we're going to get because they don't need to win.
Absolutely. Okay, really good. All right, we got Big Al here on the White Sox minus 132 against the Guardians. This one will have a start time here of 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Big Al, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Premium for tonight's action. Look at the units here for 2022, 3,443 units of profit over at Pick Dogs Premium. That is all documents showing profit the last 30 days, profit the last 7 days. Been a really, really good year again for Big Al after being the top unit producer at Pick Dogs for 2021. Off to a good start in the NFL, showing good profit in the college football. All right, Big Al, we have 13 game card here for Major League Baseball. What do you have going over at the site?
got one play, basically because there's not that many teams I'm going to be looking at this time of year. So it's a team independent race, and I've got one baseball play where I think 67-41 or last 108. I think 8-2 or last 10 baseball plays. So it's a really nice situation tonight. And then the best deal of all is to join for a week, a month, or a year and get all my football plays. And also to team me up with one of the other, champion handicappers. Team me up with Tony. He's been red hot this entire baseball season. And that's the best way to go.
That's right, guys. Get over Big Al McMordie over at Pick Dogs. Premium showing great results here for 2022. 3,443 units of profit, all documented. You can verify those numbers when you go over to Big Al's handicapper page. Go down to Pick History. You can see all the plays there, fully documented. Of course, Al does have his play up there right now. They're from Major League Baseball. Court pennant contenders again. Elite info winner here. Get on board with it. Credit guarantee. Or if you prefer the long-term passes at the $3, $7, or $30 sports pass, you get all of Al's plays for that period of time. You select when you go to his handicapper page and you make that purchase. Of course, Al's had great success throughout his 30-plus year career in all sports. But again, the NCAA and college football, Big Al, you're offering a 1-year all sports pass, probably the best value there. Your results have been documented for that period of time with great success.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've won the last 10 years in a row in the NFL, had a great year last year in college football, won 22 of the last 30 years in college and pro football combined, won 22 of the last 30 years in NBA and college basketball combined. So yeah, we'll just, keep it going and have another good year in 2022, 2023.
That's right, guys. So you can get on board with Big Al's 1-year all sports pass, all the sports he handicaps for a year, including, of course, your football, postseason as well, included on that 1-year all sports pass. The promo code WIN15 will save you 15% off, $150 off 15, actually more than that. It's $300 off when you use the promo code.
And it comes out to be about like $1.10 a play. That's what it comes out to over the 12-month period. So it's great value. Everyone can afford $1.10 for a selection, and especially when people are betting hundreds of dollars a game. And I'll put people on the right side.
That's right. The WIN15 code save you $300 off that right now. So guys, get on board with that 1-year all sports pass. Really good value right now over at Pick Dogs Premium. You can access Al's page by clicking the link in the description. Look for the Handicappers tab. You'll find his picture there. Click it and go down to 1 year of Big Al selections and get signed up. All right, Big Al, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that great success, and we'll talk with you again tomorrow.
Actually, I might not be able to make it tomorrow. I apologize. I've got a doctor's appointment, but I'll talk to you next Wednesday.
We got next Wednesday, Big Al McMordie here on the drive. Let's continue coverage. Remember, guys, check out the football show. They just shot it a few hours ago. Big Al, Jay, and Mitch with the NFL show. Check it out on the archives over at the YouTube channel for Pick Dogs. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Let's go ahead and welcome in Sean Murphy. You'll find him over at Pick Dogs Premium, doing really good work right now. Let's bring in Sean right now. Here we go. Sean, what's happening?
Hey, Tony. How are you doing tonight?
Doing great. All right, here we go. 9:40 Eastern time. We got the Athletics here at home against the Mariners. Mariners favored at 210. The total sits here at 7.
Yeah, so we saw Seattle kind of continue their struggles last night in the opener of this series. They lost that game 4-1. They had a chance to kind of break it open early in the game and just couldn't take advantage, and then they ended up paying the price late in that one. So they've been struggling here. We actually won with them on Monday in their blowout win over the Angels, but passed last night. So tonight I'll come back with them as they look to bounce back here in the second game of the series. This time of year, I'm not really looking to lay the big prices with even with these teams that are kind of in, not desperate to win, but they're trying to win down the stretch here to get their way into the playoffs, but not looking to lay big prices. A lot of variance here late in the year with some of these teams. We saw it last night with the Mariners losing 4-1 in that game as a big favorite. So tonight, rather than back them on the money line, I'm going to lay the extra run here with the Mariners. Robbie Ray gets the start. Not a great year for him here this season, but I think he'll be happy to be facing the A's. He's faced them a couple times this year already. 18 2/3 innings. He's given up only 5 earned runs. Struck out 28 hitters along the way in those 3 starts. Last couple outings he hasn't had his best stuff, but I think we see him bounce back here against the A's. We're always looking to kind of go against this A's offense after kind of a strong showing like we saw last night. On the other side, look at James Caprillion. He's kind of been one of the most reliable fades for us here this season of all the starting pitchers, and he brings awful form into this start. So he's got an ERA of 7.53, a WHIP of 2.09 over his last 3 starts. Last three A's losses with him on the mound have come by 9, 4, and 3 runs. So again, comfortable laying that extra run here in this spot with the Mariners. Oakland's bullpen, last 7 games heading into last night's game, they had a 5.96 ERA, 137 WHIP. And then on the other side, the Mariners, 20 saves converted, only 6 blown on the road this season. So look for them to kind of stretch out the margin and then close it out late here in this one as they bounce back here in Game 2 of the series.
All right, we got Sean here coming in here on a run line play here with the Mariners run line minus 1.5 runs. Minus 115 here against the Oakland Athletics. Of course, you've got the road team here, so they will get their 9 at bats, which is very important. And of course, when you're looking here at poor hitting teams, Seattle's been pretty good against the run line. 38-18 the past 2 seasons, I should say, facing teams hitting 255 or worse here, second half of the season. But I wanted to look here at I know that Oakland's got a terrible run line record at home this year because it's about the worst home field, Sean, in Major League Baseball right now.
Yeah, well, the thing is with the A's, they're one of those teams, previously they've kind of been able to hang their hat on a solid pitching staff, but that's not really the case with Oakland anymore. So that's why we don't mind fading them here. When you look, like I mentioned, with that bullpen, it struggled most of the season here. Don't have the same kind of stable of arms. Then you saw before the deadline, they ended up dealing, most of their best bullpen arms away. So again, we'll rather than lay the minus 210 or whatever we're looking at with the Mariners here, I think it's safe to lay that extra run, just based on the kind of feast or famine nature of the Mariners offense lately. Obviously don't love the fact that Julio Rodriguez has been sidelined here lately, but still think the Mariners come through here tonight.
Oakland 27-46 against the run line at home this season. All right, Mariners run line minus 1.5 against the Athletics. This one will have a start time of 9:40 Eastern time. All right, Sean, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Premium for tonight's action. Heading into a nice football weekend, but 778 units of profit last 7 days. That is all documented. So if you go over to Sean's Handicapper page over at Pick Dogs, you can verify all those records. Go down to Pick History. You'll see them. The plays are graded immediately on the site. Still 13 games remaining here on the Major League Baseball card for Wednesday, heading into a football weekend, beginning Thursday. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs?
Yeah, so tonight I've got 2 baseball plays on the go. My National League Division game of the month, really like the way that one sets up later tonight. And the other play is total from the American League. So 2 plays on the go tonight. And then I've already got most of my college football posted for this week. We've got 1 play on the go tomorrow night, 1 on Friday, and then I think I have 6 up for Saturday so far. So college football's off to an 18-10-1 start. NFL went 8-2 last week, so I've also got my Thursday night play up. That's a first half play for tomorrow night's Browns Steelers game. Look to keep it going in football this weekend, and hopefully get a 2-0 night in the books here tonight.
That's right, guys. I get aboard here with Sean Murphy over at Pick Dogs. From looking at the numbers here, the last 7 days, 778 units of profit, all documented tonight on the board right now. Sean has his 10-star MLB divisional game of the month going for his 4th in a row here with that play. So get on board there. Credit guarantee must turn a profit, or the amount you purchase is credited back into your account for side credits. That's what credit guarantee means. Also plays already up on the board here from college football. We're seeing some Mountain West game of the week. We see a Sun Belt Conference total of the year right now. Off to a hard start there with that hit. MAC game of the month. A lot of plays from college football up there right now from Sean Murphy. Now, instead of buying, also his MLB Wednesday night total dominators up there. So lots of action here from Sean. We're already in there with the Thursday night football game of the month. So lots of plays here already up for Sean. But probably instead of buying these individually, the best value here is maybe you want to try them out for a 7-day all sports pass. Get all of Sean's plays for 7 days. That would include all his Major League Baseball, all his college football. Remember, we have college football here on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Of course, the NFL will be covered here with that 7-day pass for Thursday, Sunday, and Monday. So there you go. You got good coverage here on the with Sean Murphy over at Pick Dogs Premium. When you get that 7-day all sports pass, you can use the promo code WIN15 at checkout. That will save you 15% off. And you can also add a second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion. Even greater value there. You can match up Sean with Big Al McMordie. You can match him up here with Chris, with Al, with Dana, Rod Zawacky. Your 2-for-1 capper promotion, your best value over at Pick Dogs Premium. All right, Sean, as always, great having you show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again next week.
All right. Thanks, Tony. Have a good night.
You got it. Sean Murphy here on the drive through. Let's continue on. Guys, if you missed any of our picks, we will do a complete recap at the end of the show. And I am happy to say that we don't have any 640 games to recap today. So we're ready to roll here. So let's continue on here on the drive through. It is now time to welcome in Rod Zawacky. Rod Zawacky is up next. So let's bring in Rod. You'll find him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Where he does great work. Also part of the morning crew now at 10 a.m. Eastern time every single day. So make sure you tune into that as well with Rod, Mitch, and Chris Ruffolo. So we'll bring in Rod Zawacky in right now. I think we're ready to roll here with Rod. Here we go, Rod Zawacky. Rod, what's happening?
Hey, not too much. Enjoying the Wednesday. Nice sunny day, so I can't complain.
No complaints at all. We're getting a little fall weather out here.
At this time of year, no complaints at all, yeah.
Nope, cooling off
definitely
on the
fall weather, but
yeah,
the sun's out, so I'm not complaining.
Nope, just keep that white stuff off for a while. That's all we want to have.
Exactly. Yeah, you can stay away for a little bit.
It sure can. Here we go, 8:40 Eastern time. Rockies here to host the Giants. The Giants here sit at -140. The total. I wish the total was 895. Man, that would be a big one. I think the total is going to be higher than that anyway. But what you got for us, Rod?
Yeah, for us in this one, yeah, the total is higher than 895. It's a 10 right now. And in this one, we got Giants started. I think Logan Webb gets the start. He's 13-9 on the year with a 3 ERA with a nice 1.19 WHIP. He averages about 6 innings of work. Ramon Marquez gets the start for the Rockies, and he's 8-11 with a 5.14 ERA with a 1.38. He has 6 innings of work as well. And you look, Logan Webb, he's pitched pretty well on the road. 5-3 on the year with a 3.07 ERA. On the road, and for some reason, even in night games, his ERA drops a little bit, goes to 2.44 in night games. On the other side, you look at Herman Marquez, and him at home, he has not been pitching well this season. 2-5 with a 6.7 ERA, and you look his last 3, he's 1-1 with a 6.5 ERA over his last 3 starts. And after losing the first 2 games of the series, they have not fared so well. They're 1-7 their last 8. After losing those first 6 set. And then you look at the Giants. Giants on the road have been playing pretty well. They've won their last 4 games on the road. They're also 11-15 their last 16 following a win. Giants are also 84-41 their last 125 after scoring 5 runs or more in the previous game. Giants 11. They've also covered that run line. Their last 4 on the road. I just get the sweep here. The Giants run line in this one. If you want, you can just lay in money line, but I like the run line here. Get a little bit of plus money on this one, as I think the Giants beat up on the Rockies again.
All right, we got the Giants run line -1.5 runs, plus 110 here against Rocky. You can see the respect they have for Webb, because usually in these Rockies home games, you see the total of 11. We see it because that's some respect for Logan Webb, who's throughout a tough season has got the job done. And he's getting about 57% ground balls as well.
Yeah, exactly right. He has had some rough patches, but I think he turns it around right in and have a nice solid outing. And just like you said, the line's down to 10. I think it was yesterday was 10.5. It closed at, and the day before was what 11.5. So it's come down a little. Having a little respect for some of the pitchers going today. I don't know if I have a little any respect for Herman Marquez, because he hasn't been good. Not at all. Yikes. Giant bats get to him today. Take the Giants in the run line. Nice ball.
Yeah. I think that respect is for Webb, because that's who it's for. But I think Marquez at home has been a train wreck, an ERA near 7, giving up 2 home runs per 9 innings. And Webb is, well, again, we're looking at run line here, but it's just as a favorite of -110 or higher the past 2 seasons, team record of 30-9. So he's been pretty good in that role. And, of course, I'm seeing a lot of positive trends here with Webb on the run line. Let's see here. There's a lot of these positive trends here that I'm looking at here. But anyway, does look to be good against teams that strike out a lot. 34-22 to the run line with him in there. Teams that strike out 7 or greater times past 2 seasons. And, of course, we've got a lot more trends here. Definitely looking the positive here for no doubt for the Giants run line there with the Webb here on the mound here for the San Francisco Giants, and the struggling Herman Marquez, who's just had, usually he's been steady at home, one of those, but this year it's just gone off the rails for him.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep. He's been steady, Mr. Steady Eddie at Coors Field, but not this year. He's looking pretty rough at Coors Field this year. So I think the Giants get a nice sweep here. Takes the Giants.
The Giants.
Because the Giants haven't had a great season either, but they're the better team here, and they get the win.
Oh yeah, that game 2 nights ago. What that comeback! What a wild one that was. Down 6-2, and they end up winning.
And then you're right. I was on the wrong side of that one.
Oh god, that stung me like you couldn't believe, man. That stung me. That just blow to the body. But anyway, Giants run line -1.5 runs plus 110 against the Rockies. This one to start here at 8:40 Eastern time. All right, Rod, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Premium for tonight's action here. So what a great start to the NFL here. 455 units of profit. That is all documented over at Pick Dogs Premium. Showing also great profit the last 30 days, last 7 days, coming off a monster day yesterday. Wow, big day yesterday. All right, here we go. Still 13 games on the Major League Baseball card. Head into a football weekend. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, we had a good day yesterday. Hit my nice $20 no-limit play and swept the board. So let's see if we can do it again today. Today I got my $20 MLB Diamond Crusher play. You can get that solo up there at Pick Dogs Premium. Or if you can, that play will be included in my Wednesday Bookie Buster Pack play. And as I said, that includes the Diamond Crusher play in that. Or, as we said, now's the time of the season. We got more than one sport going. So jump aboard one of them long term, grab a 3-day, grab a 7-day, grab a 30-day pass, and as we said, 30-day, or even a 30-day will get you some part of the start of the NHL hockey season, as preseason starts this Saturday, I believe, or Sunday.
Saturday.
I think it's the first Oilers. Oh, yeah, see, Saturday preseason games are going. Sunday we've got the Oilers in action preseason. See, hockey's just right around the corner, so grab something long term. We made some units as well. Term because that I cap and definitely have my eye on. So we also got that 2-for-1 capper deal. Can't go wrong with that. Where you pair up your two favorite cappers, and sometimes two heads are always better than one. So jump aboard that. Also use the code WIN15 to save 15% off all your purchases over at Pick Dogs Premium. And I know let's make some money.
Exactly. Get some money here with Zawacky over at Pick Dogs Premium. Great results here to start the NFL season. 455 units of profit, showing also great profit here over on the site the last 30 days. Come off a monster day yesterday. Rod does have his Diamond Crusher up there right now for Major League Baseball. Credit guarantee, a single play for you. So get on board with there. Also a 3-pack, affordably priced there on a 3-pack for $40. 3 best bets up there. Coming off a huge night. Looking for some more here. Of course, credit guarantee on the 3-packs. Remember, the individual plays and the one-day passes are all credit guaranteed, meaning they must turn a profit or the amount you purchase is credited back into your account for site credits. That's what credit guarantee is. So get on board there with Rod. He's got a 3-pack up there. Or if you prefer the long-term passes, Rod's got a really attractive package he put together where he's put together 4 seasons. He calls it his NFL, NHL, college football, and NBA season pass all in one. You get an entire season here of action there from those 4 sports, from those 4 major sports right now when you get on board with Rod. We talked about that the NHL is fast approaching here as we're getting close to the October 7th face-off. We've got the rookie games out of the way. Now we're getting into the big boy preseason now, starting on Saturday. The rookie games are done. So get on board here with Rod over at Pick Dogs Premium and get that 4-season pass right now. Will be priced at $1,000, but then use the win code WIN15 at checkout. They'll knock off $150 off that. So really good value there, Rod, because you're covering 4 sports and all 4 postseasons as well.
Yeah, exactly right. That's the best deal I got going right over at Pick Dogs Premium. Soup up, you get all 4 seasons of all 4 sports included. Great signals to you with more winnings. There's 3 of the 4 sports, definitely so. And we're still profitable on all those ones right now. So off to a good start on all those. Definitely jump aboard.
That's right. Get on board there with Rod Zawacky. That 4-sport pass, a really good value. All right, Rod, it's always great having your show. Keep up the great work. We'll talk with you again when we got you here on Friday again. We'll talk to you on Steak Friday, and we'll tune into the mornings with you and Chris and Mitch.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me on the show, and definitely tune into the morning shows. Always fun. Good times there. And thanks, everybody. Appreciate everybody. Smash that thumbs up. Costs us nothing. Helps us out a ton. And let's get another winner. We get 3 straight here on the drive-through this week.
That's right. 3 straight on the drive-through. with Rod Zawacky. All right, have yourself a great night. Rod Zawacky here on The Drive Thru. Let's continue. Guys, remember, we've got a lot of people signing in right now. If you miss any of our picks, we will do a complete recap here at the end of the show, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on The Drive Thru. Time to bring in Dana Lane. You'll find him over at Pick Dogs Premium. He's put up some really great numbers here, showing good profit this year in Major League Baseball. And more, let's bring him in right now. Dana Lane. Dana, what's happening?
Hey, Tony. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. All right, here we go. 10 Eastern time tonight. We have the LA Dodgers here hosting the Diamondbacks. As you expect, Dodgers big favorites here, a total of 9.
Yeah, we're not looking at the side on this one for sure. I mean, but if you are looking at the side, if you need to be involved, you know the absolute dominance that the Dodgers have had, not just this year, but in previous years over Arizona. And hey, look, you look at Madison Bumgarner and you say, hey, this is a guy that, maybe, you remember what he was against the Giants. And this is not the Madison Bumgarner in a Giants uniform against the Los Angeles Dodgers. This is a completely different pitcher. And we know this over the last couple of days because he's said a lot of things to indicate his frustrations with the way he's pitching. He's tried different things. He's moved around on the rubber. He's moved his arm angles, which he's always kind of done in his career, but just nothing is really working for him, and he's really getting plastered of late. And so I'm more apt to go with the total in this one because if you watched him against the Padres, San Diego, which has had their own problems since the trade deadline, ironically enough, putting up numbers, they've absolutely shellacked him. And sometimes when I'm looking at totals, I like to look at games where I think that one team themselves can get close to that number. And I think we're looking at that here. I don't think his adjustments when he says, hey, maybe I should just quit, and not quit in the manner of not playing baseball anymore, but quit making adjustments, that clearly is a frustrated pitcher. And so we have two scenarios here. If Bumgarner's not able to go deep into this game, well, what are you going to do? You're going to lean on the 26th ranked bullpen in Major League Baseball to come out and bail you out against the top offensive team in the National League and number 3 in Major League Baseball. I don't think that's a very good formula. And on the flip side of that, we have Dustin May coming back to make his 6th start after Tommy John surgery. And his last start, he had a little bit of soreness before the start against the Giants. And, of course, he went out and, threw a no-hitter through 5 innings and then got taken out with a pitch count, which you can expect again tonight. But beforehand, the Padres, once again, team that's struggled to score runs consistently, lit them up. And we only need Arizona to get in that 3 or 4 range because I think the Dodgers will do the rest. And if you look historically, or at least this season, when Bumgarner's on the mound, the Diamondbacks have scored runs for him, averaging just over 4.5 runs a game. So I think Arizona's going to do their job. We only need 3 to 4 runs out of them, and I think the Dodgers are easily going to do the rest. So we'll go with the over on this one.
The over in this one here, Diamondbacks and Dodgers, over 8.5. There are 8.5s and 9 scattered, though. So you guys
there are, yes.
Yeah, I just caught that. I had the pick with it, and then I had the game card with 9 because the Vegas had a lot of 8.5. They love their unders in Vegas, you know that. So they had the 8.5 over there in Vegas.
Yeah, it's 8.5 in Vegas at plenty of spots, but I do see those 9s starting to pop up. So make sure you get on it as quickly as possible, and of course, always shop for the best number. But yeah, we're making this wager based upon 8.5.
Yeah, 8.5. You can find them on these name brand, legalized offshore sports books. One of them has it 8.5. One of them has it 9. So make sure you guys have as many counts out there because this matters a lot, especially with the high flying. You bet this every day. Baumgartner's not going anywhere. The Diamondbacks signed him going into the 2020 season, a 5-year contract, $85 million.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going anywhere, but he certainly hasn't been very productive. And I don't think, what you start to lose things physically, Tony, but then when you start to lose it mentally, I think you really have some problems at this point. And 11 of his last 16 starts have gone over the total. And like I said before, I mean, they give him plenty of run support. So this Dodger team is not a team you want to get right mentally against. You want to see the Pirates on your lineup. When you're struggling between the ears, which I think he is, and I know somebody who works for the Arizona Republic newspaper in Arizona that kind of backs that up, the Dodgers are not the team that you want to get healthy against.
No, not at all. And of course, at this time of the year, Dana, you always have to look at lineups here, right? With the Dodgers, will they play their starters? I would assume you want to keep them fresh because, again, they're going to be missed. They're not going to be in the wild card round. So when the season ends on Wednesday, they're going to sit around for about 5 days at least, I think, before they play again.
Yeah, I don't worry about that at all. In fact, the Dodger depth, we've seen it for months now. I mean, the Dodgers knew that they were going to win that division for like 2 months now. And so we've seen Dave Roberts kind of play around a little bit with the rotation, but not too much with the lineup, maybe here and there. But there's enough depth that even their depth is better than what Arizona brings to the table. So that doesn't bother me at all. And then, I mean, I'm sure they're not too excited about losing that second game of the DH. So I think LA is going to be – I think more so in baseball than any other sport. And I know football is kind of a different animal, and all of a sudden you need some me time in the NBA nowadays. But, I think in baseball you continuously – put your best lineup out there, maybe minus a few guys. I think maybe give a guy a rest. We see Dustin May now, and Dustin May got another day's rest because they want to make sure that he's able to work through that soreness in his arm. But I think those are the only adjustments that you really see. I think you can count on a pretty stable lineup night in, night out. Certainly with a couple weeks ago.
I hope you get that 8.5 because probably why we saw the 9s pop up. The Dodgers have confirmed their lineup: Betts, Turner, Freeman, and Justin Turner, your first 4 in the lineup. All right,
okay,
here we go.
We're good.
You're good. Diamondbacks Dodgers over 8.5. This one to start here at 10 Eastern time. All right, Dana, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Premium. We still have here on the board here, we got a couple games starting right now, so that leaves us with about 10 games here in the primetime hour for Major League Baseball. Great results over the last 7 days, 629 units of profit, all documented, showing profit as well as the past 30 days. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, we got this one game going off, Cubs and Marlins, which is going off in a few minutes. One game left in Major League Baseball. Seattle and Oakland tonight. That's your get-out game. And I also wanted to bring up the fact that I know they've been kind of trickling in, but going back to, changing sports to the NFL, going back to preseason, the record's now 9-0, guys. So I mean, we're gonna, as the weeks go on, we're starting to get into it more and more heavy as I get a feel for it. 9-0 going back to preseason. That's pretty much perfect, I guess, in my book. So you want to make sure that you get on the long-term packages there as well as Major League Baseball.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Dana Lane over at Pick Dogs Premium. His combined preseason NFL regular season record 9-0. 900 units of profit here, also showing good profit in Major League Baseball for this year. Of course, looking for the NHL. We had a great season last year. But anyway, guys, get on board with Dana Lane over at Pick Dogs Premium. Let's look at some of these long-term passes right now from Dana. As you can get on board with Dana's here with a 30-day all-sports pass. Get all of Dana's plays for 30 days. Would include all his baseball coverage. That will get you into the end of the regular season, into the first 2 rounds, wild card round, and that second round here of the playoffs. Maybe approaching the World Series there, right? Because you 30 days, that would be October 20th. So you get you right there, a few games in the World Series. Also the NHL, which begins here October 7th. North American, the first night there is, I believe, October 11th. So you'll get lots of action, about 12 days worth of hockey there. NBA is also beginning here on October 18th. So you get about 4 days of NBA coverage as well with that 1 month all sports pass. Really good value right now with that 1 month because all these sports are combining. You got the baseball, you got the NBA, you've got the NHL, college football, NFL. This is about the best value right now with that 1 month all sports pass. Get on board with Dana Lane over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the numbers. The NFL has been impressive. What a start here. You combine the preseason with the regular season. 9-0 start. Doesn't get any better than that. 9-0. Use that promo code WIN15 at checkout, and you'll be able to save 15% off that 1 month all sports pass. So get on board right now with Dana Lane over at Pick Dogs Premium. All right, Dana, as always, great having you show. Keep up their great work, and we'll talk with you again next week.
All right, Tony, I appreciate your time. All the best. Hope everybody makes a lot of money this week.
Exactly. Follow Dana Lane, 9-0. All right, NFL. There you go. Dana Lane here on the drive-thru. Let's continue, guys, our coverage. Now, if you missed any of our picks, we will do a complete recap here at the end of the show, so make sure you stay tuned for that. All right, let's go ahead. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. It is now time to bring in Mitch. It's Wednesdays with Mitch, so let's bring Mitch in right now. You find him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Does the morning show every day at 10 a.m. Eastern time, every single day of the year. Never misses a day. He'll even do it at Costco or the dentist or the dog park. Mitch, what's happening?
Just getting ready to revving it up. Baseball on right now, and of course, football starts again tomorrow with all these Thursday games. I remember, a few years ago, they started the Thursday games a few weeks into the season, but now, and there was always college on Thursday, but now with the NFL on Thursday, it just seems like one game on top of the other. We have Monday, then Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday we're right back into it again.
Yeah, and then I thought I was seeing the Sun Belts getting into some Tuesday action next month. I
think 2 weeks away from that.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get the
season ends. When baseball season ends, then we're into the week, just about every day of the week.
Yeah, the Sun Belt's going to, hey, listen, Maction, we're going to get in front of you with this year. So, well, they got some good teams in the MAC this year. We saw, actually, in the Sun Belt, right? We've seen some teams move from Conference USA over, and that's becoming a nice little mid-major conference there. Yeah,
and then we have other teams that will be moving to the Big 12 next year. So, we're just, we're right there. We're knocking on the door of a real playoff. So, it looks like that's going to happen sooner rather than later, and I don't know why it took this long.
Well, the division realignment, and of course, they were afraid the NCAA was afraid that they were going to lose power, lose the teams. They were going to form their own conference. That's or their own organization. That was the fear. That's why they responded so quickly. But we got 10 minutes before start time here as the Yankees here host the Pirates. We know the Yankees are big favorites here, 280, total of 8.
Last night the Pirates had the game. They had it in control. They basically had it won, and they let it go in the 9th inning. Aaron Judge's 60th home run. Congratulations. And then a grand slam by Giancarlo Stanton with nobody out anyway. And the bases loaded, of course. That's what makes it a grand slam. And, but the Pirates were in there the whole way. And, the Yankees had even come back and tied the game a few times, and the Pirates managed to regain the lead. I think tonight in this one with Contreras up against Severino, I think the Pirates should have the lead again, at least early in the first 5 innings. Whether they can hold on for the whole duration, I'll probably be there on that bet. But I think in the first 5 innings, I think Contreras more than holds his own against Severino, and I think definitely a more than reasonable play, especially considering last night the Pirates were in the lead at 5 innings against the Yankees. This Yankees team has not been so great down the stretch. They have not been so great, after the All-Star break. The Pirates, well, they have nothing to play for except for, to beat the Yankees. And I expect them to be loose as a goose despite last night's game. And, the Pirates are used to losing games like that, so shouldn't be shaken one bit.
No, not at all. Here we got the pick here from Mitch is going to be the first 5 here with the Pirates, and of course, we looked at Severino coming in off those injuries. I thought his numbers were better. It didn't really impress me much, but his home run rate has been bad, like 1.47 home runs per 9 innings. That has not improved since he came off his injuries.
No, he hasn't improved, and I think the Yankees are probably in trouble in the postseason, especially if they have to face the Houston Astros. The American League, all those teams that are in the postseason are going to be trouble. And while the Yankees will get a bye in the first round, they're not going to get a bye in the second round. And, there's not going to be any slouches left at that point. I think the Yankees, if they make an early exit from the playoffs, it'll be interesting to see if Aaron Boone still has a job next year.
Probably not after what happened last year. A lot of people were surprised that he came back. But again, it's when it comes down to really starting pitching. And I think when we look at the National League, that's an interesting league there, because when you look at the Dodgers, they've been hit with some injuries. You look at the Cardinals. Wainwright hasn't been too impressive. The bats have been kind of cold here of late. You look at the Atlanta Braves. Ian Anderson has not pitched to his card. We've seen issues with Morton. Of course, it's Strider and Fried are going to be probably the strongest two going into the postseason.
Yeah, but the Braves, they've shown that they have what it takes to get over the hump, and they've been there, done that. And I think when you've been there, done that, well, you certainly have an edge.
Yeah, and I'll see what LA brings to the table with the two healthy arms they're looking here with experience is pretty much Urias and Kershaw.
Yeah, Urias had a big year once again. This guy, it's amazing the way he racks up the wins. Right, it's like. This guy, because of the wins that he racks up every year, and he's so young, he's really the next pitcher in line that has a shot at 300 wins. I know it's early to be talking about this, but he's the only guy. I mean, he's racking up 20 a year. He's super young, so he's got a chance to pitch 15, 20 years. I think he's one of those guys that could sneak in those. Max Scherzer just got 200. it's like I could easily see this guy getting past 200, in not that long a time, because he is just racking up the wins.
And it helps that you have this lineup, and it helps that you have a bullpen that doesn't blow games for you.
Yeah, it's, he takes advantage of all those things, but at the same time, we've seen guys with good lineups and who have had all of these different things, but he has 49 wins and 17 losses in his career, and that's a better win rate than 99% of the pitchers out there. I mean, when we look at Arias, and it's like, man, it's early to start talking about like historical, but in 2017, 2018, and 2020, he had, very few starts in those years. In 2020, obviously, nobody had a lot of starts. He had 11 starts. In 2018, he had 3 starts. He had 5 starts in 2017, and then 18 in 2016. But since then, when he's had 37 starts, 32 starts, and 28 starts, look at this, 20 wins, 17 wins. I mean, these are the type of numbers that you do it. And you look at 49 and 17, that's a win rate that ranks up with the very best of the best of the best, not just now, but of all time. He really is in that category. And he's a sub-career 3 ERA guy, 2.27 this season after 2.96 a year ago. 2019, 37 games played, but all of those were in relief. He
was struggling because what they did is it was Honeycutt, right? Honeycutt said, okay, no more windup. You have such a great results off the stretch. We're going to turn you to just be a stretch pitcher.
Yeah, and the issue that's always with these type of pitchers. So they say he's born in 1996, so that would put him at 26 years old, right now. Well, August 1996, he would make him just 27. So even 6 more years at 17 to 20 wins a year, which is the pace that he's going at. I mean, he's already at almost 200 there.
Wow, that's amazing, there.
Right?
So,
it's like when you start looking, it's because I really didn't even think about this until we know last year he had the big win number, and then this year he's got the big win number once again. But he's not really in that discussion of top pitchers, really. But here he is. I mean, the numbers are all there. In fact, I mean, we've been harsh on him at times,
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it's this guy coming up. Since he was 14 years old, they've been talking about this guy.
Yeah, next Fernando.
His first game in the Dodgers, for the Dodgers, he was 19 years old.
Yeah.
And he had already been in the system. So, he was... I
think it's 16.
In 2000. Yeah. It's crazy, right?
Yep, that's amazing numbers there. Okay, so Mitch here on the Pirates' first 5 plus 205 against the Yankees. This one starts at the top of the hour. Let's go right here to the recap, and we'll talk a little bit longer with Mitch. They'll give us some more time, so let's get to the recap right now, and we got Mitch's play here on the first 5 innings here in this one here between the Pirates and the Yankees, and we'll go ahead and get to the recap. Mitch will be here with me, and we'll continue our discussion following the recap here with Mitch, and let me we'll get it started here right now. Looks like we had, let me see, we get the pick off that Mitch pick. Here we go. We got to start here with Chris. Chris liked the Angels Rangers over 8.5. Al Ninos was on the Tigers plus 130 against the Orioles. Al McMordie, White Sox minus 132 against the Guardians. Sean likes the Mariners run line minus 1.5 runs, minus 115 against the Athletics. Rod here on the Giants run line minus 1.5 runs, plus 110 against the Rockies. Dana likes the Dodgers Diamondbacks over 8.5. Hurry up and get that number because we're seeing 9s gobbled up because the Dodgers have announced their lineups and their big bats are in the lineup tonight. And Mitch on the Pirates first 5 plus 205 against the Yankees. I'm on the Padres first 5 against the Cardinals. Mitch, other than your pick, which one do you like the best?
I would say the probably with Rod with the Giants on the run line, or Big Al. I like the White Sox with Lance Lynn tonight against the Guardians. I like both of those, and I also like that Angels Rangers over with Tucker Davidson on the mound for the Angels. He's fully capable of going that 8.5 himself.
Yeah, that 3-team parlay.
I also like your pick. I like your pick as well in the Cardinals Padres. Miles Miklos, however you say it. I say that he gives up a ton of runs on the road.
Yeah, that road split, you can't trust him on the road, Michaelis. No, and I'm okay with the Musgrove for the first 5, but. The Michaelis the road, he's been a big dog, and I've seen it. I've got that trap where he's been a big dog on the road, a good pitcher, big dog, boom, get pounded on the road.
Yeah, he just has been terrible on the road. The Cardinals, between him and Flaherty, it's just real disappointment there, I'd say. From some guys that they really need the help.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We get some question marks here with some of these with starting rotations as we hit the postseason. We'll see how this all plays out in these playoff games. That we know the Braves got a solid 1-2 there, but can these, and so the Dodgers and so a lot of teams. But where's the 3 and the 4 guy going to come? How are they going to factor in this postseason? I think that's kind of going to decide these postseasons here as we get right into near the wild card round. We're 2 weeks away from the end of Major League Baseball, Mitch. And as we talk here 2 weeks from now, there'll be no baseball because all the games start at 4 Eastern 2 weeks from today.
Yeah, it's kind of a different way of doing it this year. And, everything starts kind of early. And, we have best 2 out of 3 series to get things started. So a lot of good stuff. Are you sure those games all start at 4, or they're just saying that now before they have the time slots set?
Maybe so. We'll find out. But it showed that
sometimes they do that. They'll just say they all started, at that. But I'm going to guess that they're going to stagger them out. They'll throw them into prime time, especially if the Braves edge out the Mets. They'll get that at an 8 o'clock Eastern time start.
Right. If there's one of those games, a win-and-in situation, they may have them go head-to-head, right? Maybe like ESPN and ESPN2, something like that.
Yeah.
They can probably do that. That wouldn't surprise me.
We'll have to check it out, and we'll have to find out. But baseball season is winding down. I think it's been an interesting season. Adding the wild card teams, adding the extra team certainly has made a little bit more. I still think the season went a little long, and I think anything that needed to be decided, I think had more than the opportunity to be decided at this point.
Yeah,
I think that they should end it at Labor Day.
The lockout, with the late start, we've seen some 5-game series here late in the season. It's been kind of a little quirky here at the end here, but we'll see how it plays out. And Mitch, of course, we got the NFL show up there. We also going to see the college football show with you and Mitch, right?
Me, Chris, and Ron Romanelli. We'll do the college football show. It's fun for us all to get together, and of course with Jay Briggs and Al McMordie doing the NFL show. It's exciting to have Jay around. You have him on the show all the time here as well. And it's kind of like I wasn't going to do the Become a Capper contest again this season, but then after adding Jay, I was like, well, if I'm going to find a guy like this again, I will gladly have another contest. Finding good people that are excited about it, on day 10 as they were on day 0, are rare. And it's like, a lot of people claim to be heroes and they win games all the time and all this other stuff, but it's not winning games that we all can do that. It's how you bounce back from, a couple losing days, and how you're able to just maintain, stay the course, because this is betting sports. This is a grind, and it is, man, I mean, I had the Browns on Sunday, so you guys know how, if any of you had the Browns with me, you know how it feels. And it's like, I had Arizona in a late game, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the Browns still,
Oh, yeah. That's the rough patch there. I know, Mitch, we like to talk a little bit about college football. A couple matchups here. Maryland, Michigan. Michigan here laying 17. Is Maryland finally mentally tough? Are they mentally tough enough to go against these big boys in the conference and play a close game? I'm saying win, but a respectable result.
I'm just concerned about Maryland's defense still. I think when you have, 4 defensive coordinators in 4 years, not for the good reasons either. It's not like they took the Alabama job or something, right? It's like, you had 4 coordinators because they didn't work out. And I think in that case, then you still have something to prove. And, Jim Harbaugh has kind of proved a lot of things last season, and, he's even earned some praise from us. So it's like, that's how far he's come. And I think, we could rag Harbaugh all we wanted to when he hadn't accomplished anything, when he hadn't beat Ohio State, when he hadn't made it to the playoff. But now he has. And it's like, he's coaching these guys up, and, he keys in on the fundamentals. And as much as a jerk he can be sometimes, and, I think even he knows he will overcoach it sometimes, that he does coach it, and he coaches his guys up, and he keys on the fundamentals. I mean, you have a team that can get a little sloppy, especially on the defensive side of the ball, man, it could be a long day. And we see this happen in these Buffalo Bill games in the first 2 games this season, and this game has a chance to end up like one of those.
Yeah, and Clemson into Wake Forest here. And this one's already down to 7 here. We've seen this number come down. Kind of looking here at the historical numbers against with Clemson and Wake Forest. Clemson pretty much owned this Wake Forest team, but is this the year where Wake Forest either covers or wins this one outright?
Well, I think we're all waiting for the same thing at Clemson, and that's for a quarterback change. And I think all it's going to take is a couple stops here by Wake, and stops and scores, and for Clemson to be behind, and then for the miracle comeback to happen. Because once they do make that quarterback switch, Clemson's going to be an elite team again, and I think everybody knows that, including Dabo Swinney.
All right, I don't know if 45.5 is low enough in this one. Baylor and Iowa State. Totally.
Yeah, I think we've seen that Dave Aranda, he'll run in running situations and he'll run in passing situations, but he is a really good coach, and I think he's one of the bright coaches out there. Iowa State, I think I always liked Campbell there, but I think in this one Baylor really not getting a lot of respect.
Speaking of not getting a lot of respect, some people say Florida's not getting a lot of respect. That we got Tennessee now 10.5 at home here against Florida.
Well, Florida's loaded with athletes, and we saw them against Kentucky throw that pick 6, so they have quarterback issues there. But the thing is they do have a power game and can run the football, and Tennessee's defense isn't all that. So I think this game's probably going to be closer than that. Usually when Tennessee wins in this series, it's a very close, exciting, wild finish. When Florida wins, it's usually a blowout.
I know what we feel here about Indiana, but boy, is Cincinnati lay 17 and cover here with this rebuild against Indiana?
I don't know. Tom Allen, not one of my favorite coaches, but in 2 of these games so far that we've seen for the undefeated Hoosiers, right? They have squeaked these games out. The one against Illinois, I still don't think they won that game. I think that the refs gave them that game. And I think the game against Western Kentucky, they were dead to rights in that thing too. So I think against this Cincinnati team, one thing we know about Luke Fickell teams, these guys really, really hit. And the game is in Cincinnati this year. So that's a tough break for the Hoosiers.
Yeah, it is a tough break for the Hoosiers there. And a game interesting here is this Minnesota. That we saw Michigan State falter. I guess that the pass defense didn't improve much when they faced an improved Washington team. But here comes Minnesota, who likes to run the ball. So it's a different spot here. I'm a little nervous about Tanner Morgan in this spot. They've kept his passing totals under 20 attempts, but when you ask him to pass in high volume, that's when I'm worried about Morgan here making mistakes. Minnesota laying 3 on the road at Michigan State.
Little different story facing Michigan State in East Lansing than hosting Colorado, that's for sure, and New Mexico State. The teams that Minnesota has played. We know the Flexter, plays it close to the vest, and he plays in a lot of close games. I expect this one to be fairly close too. I wouldn't bet against Mel Tucker to lose back-to-back games, that's for sure.
Yeah, can Notre Dame find any offense here? They're facing a horrible defense in North Carolina here, with North Carolina about 1.5 now.
Notre Dame's got some quarterback problems, and I think, Freeman is going to be a good coach there, but I think the issue is that it's going to take him a year, because what happens now when these coaches leave, because the transfer portal is already in place. Back in the day, you were allowed to transfer if your coach left, but it was kind of like a last-minute thing, and it was not everybody would do it. But now with the transfer portal, everybody's already geared up and ready to go. So their bags are already packed. It's a matter of trying to get them to stay. And I think Freeman, just too many things to have to replace there. That's how you lose to Marshall. And I just think, Carolina at Chapel Hill is a lousy spot for them.
Yeah, and of course, Kansas, the team that has shown some improvement this year. We kind of knew the Buffalo coach coming in, Leipold, was going to be an improvement. He did a great job there at Buffalo. We're seeing now with Kansas, 7.5 to 7 now at home against Duke.
Yeah, Duke has also been a little bit of a surprise, an upside surprise as well. So this one might be a little bit closer and better game than people think, because now Kansas is on the map. They're kind of on everybody's radar after beating West Virginia and beating them pretty good. I expect to see Duke show up in this one. We saw him show up against Northwestern. I think we should see him show up again. This Duke team's not bad.
We know Colorado's bad, but man, I don't know if we can trust laying 21 on the road with UCLA. That's a little nerve-wracking there for me.
One of the harder games on the board, because Colorado is so bad. I mean, they are just absolutely terrible. And UCLA has such good athletes, but it's like boy, Chip Kelly can coach an opposition right into the game here, and I think that's a possibility. It's one that I'd love to take advantage of betting against Carl Durrell while we have him, but at the same time, oh man, this is a tough one.
It's a tough one, no doubt about that. Here's one interesting game. App State, of course, James Madison was a really good FCS that team. They're now with the big boys, and now they're facing an App State team that's, they were in one of those crazy games against Troy, and they're laying a touchdown.
They still gave up 63 against North Carolina, so we're not ready to crown them, the world-beating champions. They beat Texas A&M. I gave that out on our Saturday show that week on the money line for them to win, and and they managed to do that. I was in Vegas. I was in a great mood that morning. But the thing is that I think that in this spot, App State, after game day being there last week, after the miracle finish, after the win over Texas A&M, it's just not a place you really want to be laying, the hook.
No, that's a number there, no doubt. Interesting one here, Mitch. Oregon going into Washington State. Where did this Washington State team come from? Boy, the defense is playing well. They got this the Incarnate Word, Cameron Ward, the Incarnate Word transfer, I think, over there now. As Delora heads to Arizona, Oregon here laying, but we're 7, but now it's going down to 6.5. Seeing some money on Washington State.
Well, the Washington State defense is also playing really well, and I think when they went to Wisconsin and knocked off the Badgers, people act like the game never even happened or something. I think Wisconsin is probably higher ranked and being given more credit than Washington State is. I mean, they went in there, they were in the end zone, where the jump around happens. They sat there through the jump around. They came out and blocked the field goal and went on to win the game. It's like, I don't know what more you can ask of this Washington State team. I think they could be the sleeper in the Pac-12 this year.
That's right. Interesting there. And that Pac-12 North, of course, with the improvement with Washington, Oregon, Washington State will be a dogfight there in that end of the Pac-12. Texas going to Texas Tech was 7. We're seeing now the Longhorns at 6.5.
Yeah, Texas once again, the win over Alabama gave them a lot of credit. Last week against UTSA, I don't know. I think UTSA kind of laid down there once they fell behind. It was an odd thing to see happen, but I think in this one, I'm going to take Texas Tech. They're not a bad team.
No, not at all. And I think one of the tougher games here. We're going to cover the afternoon card here with Mitch. Arizona, Cal here laying 3. Arizona showed some improvement. Then they laid an egg here at home in that game against the SEC school.
Yeah, it was weird. Arizona, they played well in that first game, and then last time out against North Dakota State, they actually played decently, right? In FCS. Yeah. Yep. And then, in between, they were absolutely horrible against Mississippi State. I don't know. I don't trust Arizona at all. I think Cal's going to be able to put points on them.
Tulsa has that experienced quarterback, Brent, I believe it is. They're going in Ole Miss. So Ole Miss laying 21.5 in that one.
Yeah, it's Lane Kiffin's a jerk, so it's like if he has a chance to run up the score, he seems to be willing to do that. We saw him. I mean, if you're going to run up the score in Central Arkansas, you're going to run up the score basically any chance you get.
Yeah, that's possible there. I think this is one of the trickier spots here. I was kind of leaning Navy here. They're coming off the bye week. We saw them what they did last week against the bye week. East Carolina has had trouble facing Navy. Go look at the series head-to-head history. Navy's kind of owned them here. East Carolina laying 17. I'm seeing some 16.5s now. People might have seen that with them.
Yeah, but Navy made me sick against Memphis. They just could not stop anything, and they couldn't get it going. And, of course, they also lost to Delaware this year. So, this is not a good Navy team.
All right, we've got also, we'll start here with the afternoon. We've got Arkansas and Texas A&M facing in their usual game over at Jerry's World here. We're seeing the number all over here between 1.5 and 2.5 favored A&M.
Yeah, I don't even understand how A&M could be favored in this game. The Hogs should be favored by a touchdown here. A&M is not a good team. They beat Miami last week. Miami looked seriously disorganized in that game, and as bad as as disorganized as Miami looked in that game, and really missing their top wide receiver and all that kind of good stuff, they got pressure on A&M rushing 4 And, they missed 2 field goals. They dropped a punt, and that was really the difference in the game. But Johnson, the transfer from LSU, just like I said last week on the college football show and the preview of that game, I mean, he got a national championship winning coach fired at LSU. He's not that good. He was 10 of 20 last week, and he was lucky to be that.
All right, that was our college football look ahead with Mitch. Guys, be sure to tune in tomorrow. So, Mitch, you, Chris, and Romanelli, what time with the show?
We did the show at right after the morning show. We wait about 15 minutes after the morning show ends. So tomorrow, will be a regular morning show with Rod and Chris, and then we will go to the other show.
All right, guys. So
the Pirates got first and second here with nobody out against the Yankees in the top of the first.
Top of the first inning, that first 5 coming in here for Mitch here on that game. Nice plus 205 there.
They did the flip to the second baseman. He was like standing next to the shortstop, so he wasn't even close to the base. It's like, what are you doing? What are you?
Hey, what do you make of that NFL game tomorrow? A lot of points are for Cleveland against Pittsburgh with Trubisky under center for.
I don't know. Nick Chubb has cost me 4 dimes, in these not taking the knee and running out of bounds and not running out of bounds. So I'm just so done with these guys at this point. I mean, last year Nick Chubb, remember, he ran out of bounds at the 1-yard line, and then that cost me the cover. And then this game, he doesn't run out of bounds. He runs it into the end zone. They missed the extra point, and we end up losing that one. I was laying 6.5 with the Browns, so he just makes me sick, to be honest. And we have, what we have here are 2 great defenses, and we have Jacoby Brissett versus Mitch Trubisky. That should tell you everything you need to know.
That's all you need to know, man. That's no doubt. All right, Mitch, why don't you let everybody know what's going on over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Plus Chat Place here. Really good football season start for the guys.
Absolutely. And at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat, we're looking for a social media person. If you're a social media expert, email me, mitch@pickdogs.com. Don't just say pick me, Mitch, or any of those things like that. It's a paying job, and it's like, so please take it seriously. Anyone that's an expert in social media, sports betting, and all of that other stuff, it'd be great to have you aboard our team. And of course, we have a lot of opportunities that can happen from there. But right now, we really need just a social media person. So if you have that skill set, email me, mitch@pickdogs.com, and send me links to, examples of your work and things like that. Don't just say, I can do it, I'm good at social media, or something like the way people send me the handicapper. I should be a handicapper on your site. I'm good. It's like, yeah, okay.
All right.
Take it seriously, because like I said, it's a paying job and it has tons of opportunity.
That certainly does. No doubt about that. All right, Mitch, as always, great having you show. Have a great evening. We'll catch up again with you next week when we tune into all the great live shows here on the channel. All
right. Thanks, Tony. Good seeing you.
You got it. Mitch here on the drive-thru. Guys, we did the recap for you. You got my pick. We'll do it again just to refresh your memory here on the recap. Some of these games started, but we got the recap in well before these games started. The ones that are still ready to roll here, Chris has Angels, Rangers over 8.5. McMordie here on the White Sox, -132 against the Guardians. We got Sean here on the Mariners run line, -1.5 runs, -115 against Athletics. We have Rod on the Giants run line, -1.5 runs, +110 here against the Rockies. We got Dana on Dodgers, Diamondbacks over 8.5 runs. We already gave you Mitch's play. That one's in progress. Mine is Padres first 5, -140 against the Cardinals. And that'll do it for this edition of the Drive-Thru, guys. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring in our cappers in from Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Play. Still give out live free picks for the games in prime time. We will have games in prime time for a Thursday. It is a pretty big card, 13-game Major League Baseball card. But of course, it'll be a little down during the prime time hours. But we'll have a lot of action to give out. So we'll have that as well as the NFL game, a couple from college football. So we'll have a lot of content for you here on the Drive-Thru. So make sure you guys tune in. Don't forget the morning shows every day, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Morning show. It's Mitch. It's Rod. It is Chris in the mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Also, the video series. You've got Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes, as well as Romanelli with his rundown in Major League Baseball. Every game on the board, you get a pick from with Ron. Also, the Javon parlay of the day. Don't forget the UFC show with we got Brad as well as Mills on Saturdays, immediately following the morning show on Saturday. Also, The college football show is now up and archived. Big Al, we got the Jay as well as Mitch. They shot that a few hours ago. That's on the archive. Go back and watch the replay. A lot of good content on that NFL show, I should say. That's the NFL show up right now. Jay, Big Al McMordie, and Mitch. Tomorrow, it's going to be the college football show with Romanelli, Chris, and Mitch. Tune in right after the morning show for that. All right, that'll do it for tonight's show. Let's go ahead and bring in our crew here from tonight's show. We're going to bring them in and wave goodbye to you guys. You guys have